Ultimately, in our opinion, audio is subjective, so it's not something that we want to impose on a customer that this is the way you should listen to something. But coming back to the original AMR background, we are very, very nerdy and very geeky about the details and how we can get the last drop of performance out of every single area, be it the digital section, be it the analog section, be it the power section. It's all about just squeezing the last ounce of performance out of it and letting customers choose their little bit. So we do the 95% of the work and the customer does the last 5%. So for example, the X bass is where a customer can add extra bass into their listening playback. 3D is for unequalizing a recording. So most recordings are made for speakers, but when you listen on headphones, it has that weird in your head sensation, and we want to get it back outside of your head. XMOS is one of the leading USB chip manufacturers. So that's the chip that receives the USB signal coming in and sends it onto the DAC. Normally when you buy the chip, you get the software to run with it. But for us, we only take the chip and then we write our own code to squeeze every last drop out of the XMOS. Another example that's a very good one would be the Bluetooth solution that we have. Bluetooth is a very generic system on the chip solution, i.e. you just buy one chip and it does everything from reception to de-jitter to conversion to amplification. For us, we only use the Qualcomm Bluetooth chip just to receive the signal. Then we clean it up with our own de-jitter circuit, then we have our own DAC, then we have our own amplifier. So it turns it from a generalist solution to a specialist solution. So when you compare listening on Bluetooth with us on our gear compared to the USB line on our gear, there isn't much of a degradation in the signal. There's only a slight drop, not a major drop that you normally get. We've built a lot of our gear on the back of the Burr-Brown chip, and the Burr-Brown is an unusual chip. It's what you call a hybrid chip. So when the PCM signal goes in, it takes one path, and when the DSD signal goes in, it takes another path. So the signal stays original, does not get converted inside the DAC chip. And for us, from the AMR days, we make a big song and dance about the bit perfect side of the signal, i.e. not messing with it. For us, we'd rather leave it unmessed with for the customer. The AMR PH77 was the big daddy of all the iFi Phono stages, and a lot of that technology has trickled down into the iFi Phono. So for example, the cartridge settings, the EQ curves went into the Phono 3 Black Label, and also the cartridge settings went into the Zen Phono and the Zen Air Phono. And it just allows a customer who spent a lot of time curating their records and their cartridges to get it as close as to being as perfect as possible. In the iFi range, we came up with something called S-balanced, which is running the single-ended lines. It gets the best of both worlds of single-ended and balanced. So you have the single-ended connectivity, which is very universal. You've also got the very low noise floor of balanced, and you're bringing that into the S-balanced circuit. And that's really pertinent when it comes to headphones, because headphones, your driver is right next to your ear, so you literally hear everything. It's like listening with your ear next to the speaker, and any noise floor will always annoy you a lot. And that's why for us, we really try to keep driving that noise floor down with our technology. We really make a big deal about using the best technology out there, regardless of whether or not it's classic or brand new. So for example, the XMOS is 16 core, it's right on the cutting edge. But then we also have a Burr-Brown that's around 15 years old. And then some of our gear has tubes, which even some of the tubes are out of stock, or NOS. And sometimes we can use Class D circuitry. It just doesn't matter for us. It's just, can we make the best sound possible, for our customers and also for ourselves? Can we listen to it for a good long time without getting fatigued? And that's really the real litmus test for us. We enjoy looking for new areas and new technologies that help make the music sound even better or solve a problem for a customer. It's really, really satisfying, and not just for myself, but for the staff when they come running back. Somebody said this on Amazon, or somebody put this on one of our social media things, because we all know we spend a lot of time and effort building our hi-fi system. If you have a flaw in it or a noise or some gremlin, but when you solve it, that's worth a lot more than just incrementally improving the sound by 5% or 10%, because that guy's like, oh my gosh, you've just solved this annoying bug that's been buzzing around me all day in my hi-fi system every time I listen to it.